A couple of weeks ago, maybe a few weeks ago now, there's been a video trending where you see a young lady. I believe she's based in Canada. You see her crying, teary. Um, she's just making a case. She's clearly frustrated and going through a very depressing moment. Um, she's crying about how challenging it is living in Canada, leaving all she knows behind, um, having to work, a lot, and also combining that with schooling. And the part that touched me the most in that video was where she said she even has to tone down her crying so as not to probably upset the neighbor or something of that along those lines. Um, the challenge she's going through is not something new to anyone who's relocated abroad. That culture shock is real. I'm not sure if all the people watching this video have had the opportunity to watch that video. So I'll play that video now so you can watch it and I'll continue afterwards.
I feel like I live with someone I can't have a conversation with, and I'm trying to cry, and I even have to be silent about it. 'Cause you just lose out on so many things. Your life, you just leave it behind. Your friends, and I'm so hurt, and my heart hurts. You have to work all the time. I have school. I'm so sad. I'm hurting so much. I don't have any friends. People don't tell you about moving to Canada. I feel so alone. I, I feel like I live with someone.
So you can see there is a really emotional video, and you can tell that the lady is going through a very tough and trying period in her life. And like I said earlier, this situation is one many people who have relocated abroad face. They pass through this same challenge of loneliness, of not having anyone around you, the culture shock. And whilst I say majority of the people, some people find it are more fortunate than others. I would count myself as probably one of the more fortunate ones in the sense that when I relocated abroad, I landed with my family, and that made it a lot easier. I wouldn't say I was necessarily lonely. For me, I wasn't lonely because of it was my family. I was basically at home, and that helped a lot. There was still the culture shock though, because it was different from Nigeria. It's different from the way from what I knew. From the cold weather, the system, the way everybody kept to themselves, you know, the lack of communality. It was just different and it's culture shock. So there was still that culture shock, and sometimes within that you can still feel a bit depressed. Not necessarily that your immediate environment of where you're living might be might you'll be you once you enter that environment you're like, oh wow, this just feels alive. But there are only so many people that are fortunate to even have that kind of environment. There are some people that relocate and it's just them by themselves. They don't even have a family or a friend or anybody, and they just have to find their feet. And I can only imagine how challenging that can be, and this is a young lady, going through probably that kind of scenario. No friends, no family, only God knows where in Canada, and Lord knows this time of the year in Canada is really, really cold. Just the adjustments and the adaptation one needs to go through can be challenging, you know. So I feel for the young lady there. It must be really tough for her, And with the video going viral, a couple of people have made their comments and suggestions on this lady's predicament, and I'll just go through some of those comments and hopefully maybe just see the solutions they're preferring and where ways maybe other people going through this a similar challenge can tackle this challenge or resolve this situation. So I'll just go through some of those comments. So I'm going through the first commenter, who is Uncle Ayo. And he says here that jackpot loneliness is a real thing and it's not funny and it's mostly not sexual. We underestimate the impact of social interactions. Those mamas selling provisions, your bike guy gisting you, your guy living 2 streets away. Let me take it apart with context and other instances. Social, organic, face-to-face, bodily interactions nourishes the soul, nothing that virtual interactions can replace. We are Africans. We grew up communally. To break out of that pattern, to be alone, can stride you into depression. Jackpot depression is real. It is brutal. You know how Lagos downfall is now? You are going to work. You'll be assured that you hear gist, people talking, people jesting. However, in wherever Uncle Ayo is, of course, in one of the Western countries, it says, from a silent office to a silent bus ride to a silent street to a silent home. Open your windows and it's only cars. You people don't play outside. Sometimes you just, especially in on Christmas Day, it's a complete contrast to what you find in Nigeria. It can be really, really just different. He goes on to say, you grew up in a bubbly home, children jesting, aromas stemming from the kitchen, the memorable smell of your mother's wrapper strolling in and out of the parlor. Then suddenly, you are alone, having to battle nasty neighbors who mess up the common area. You go crazy now. That you have friends in the same city or country isn't even a consolation because you have to plan every meetup and travel. With every passing day, you are speaking fewer words. On some days, you have to yawn as a litmus test to confirm that you are not deaf and dumb. And people are really going through this kind of situation. When people share these experiences, just know that they are one episode from running mad. Social media is their escape. Are they better off living? Yes. Is the loneliness depressing? Yes. Do they think the trade-off was worth it? Mostly, yes. Multiple truths can exist. So I think Uncle Aya here is saying it as it is, with a lot of people that have jackpot, and relocated. This is their current experience, It's just a different system. Yeah, it's different from what you're used to in Nigeria. And it's good to have that mindset that is going to be challenging mentally and emotionally when you relocate. And it's not just as easy as it is. It goes beyond the beautiful pictures people post on social media. You're like, oh, wow. Behind those pictures, there's a lot of loneliness, I tell you. So it's one of those things you just have to set your mind to when you're relocating, except of course, in the case where you already have friends and family that you're going to live with or close by where you're relocating. I'll go on to take another commentary from Uncle Victor Semota. Anyways, he says, I'm sorry I didn't watch the video of the lady crying in Canada because I've worked tirelessly in the last 5 to 10 years to encourage people to build or be part of online communities in the diaspora. If you don't know how to connect and be part of those communities, sorry. Culture shock is real. My culture shock was the food. Not eating food with pepper for just a week almost made me mental. It was too bland. I was vocal about it, and guess who came to my aid? An Indian classmate whose mother had a shop selling spices and food. She gave me hot pepper. you know, as for loneliness, I thank the internet. I don't think anyone who can make a video and put it online doesn't know how to connect online and make new friends. This place is the greatest cure for loneliness ever invented. I believe Uncle Victor was referring to the internet when he says this place. Everything is here, from religion to mekwe. If you get it, if you don't get it, forget about it. Anyways, Uncle Victor goes on to say, Nigerians really like being spoon fed instead of discovering things for themselves. Crying online solves jack squat. Uncle Victor, you ash now, take it easy. People have different coping mechanisms. I've seen really lonely people crying inside the tram at Sheffield or getting totally drunk in buses. But they were never Nigerians. Someone will have a connect. Someone will have a connect. That's from Uncle Victor Asemota. He then goes on to even share a link of Nigerians in the UK as an example of online communities where you can connect with people from your background in your area. I'll take the last and final one from Toyib Adewale. He says, unfortunately, crying and loneliness are part of the package you sign when you decide to jackpot. Unless you are very well funded from home and you can throw cash at your problems. I cried a lot of times because there are some problems you never planned for that you will have to deal with. That is true. I still cried this morning, but it was a different one. I woke up and decided to listen to Hero by Mariah Carey. It's one of those songs I listened to when things were very rough. Tears rolled down because I couldn't believe I went through all of that. Jackpot challenges are very different from what we have at home. For loneliness, you have to actively seek people and join communities, which is very important for networking and sharing opportunities. But accept you will miss on what's happening at home. You will go back home after several years, and some people have passed away. Sadly, on this jackpot journey, some people will pass away abroad too. This is the story of us Africans trying to better ourselves. Our leaders had every chance in the world to make our country better, but the greed, naivety, and lack of vision in some of them got us here. Nigeria is supposed to be buying uranium from Niger and generating nuclear power. Yes, why not? Pakistan has it. India has it. As young Africans, our journey is a tough one. Let's continue to support each other on this struggle. We will win. May God help us. So these are a few of the commentaries from people's reaction to this young lady's, video. And one thing the last commenter said that, I just piggyback off is, where he said you have to go through things that you never thought of. A lot of people, even, you have to do some kind of jobs, some kind of menial jobs. And it's not the absence of humility to do the job, but you just look at it and say, with my skill set, I can do more. Let's see where I am. And probably in even doing that job, the way you'll be treated sometimes can, you know, can get you depressed. Couple that with the fact that you then no have no one to go back to and just, talk about these issues, these challenges you are going through with, further presses or adds to that depression. If I was this young lady's maybe brother, cousin, uncle, or something, what advice would I give her? It won't be too different from what the commentaries from Uncle Victor, Toyib, and Uncle Ayo. You know, you have to actively go out there and seek people and network. I'm trying to make friends. Uh, Uncle Victor was a bit maybe a bit harsh when he said, you know, but it's harsh, but it's just truth. If you can go if you can go online to post a video of you crying and the challenges, probably can go online and socialize. You can call your friend from back home, call your family from back home. If you're crying or talking with them about those challenges, it will still help. And it's still in that going online, you can still try to find communities. The lady mentioned that she's in a school. If are there Nigerians in the school? If there are, she should try and mix up with the Nigerians there or Africans there. If there are no Nigerians, let's take for instance, she's even in a state or a province where there aren't many Nigerians, Africans, or people from the same background as she is. I think it's a good opportunity for her to open her mind and say, you know what? I might not have people from the same background like myself, but it's an opportunity for me to take on new culture, learn new things, make new friends, and expand my horizon. You know, she should look for what she likes doing in her leisure. In her leisure time, she should find something she likes doing and the kind of thing she can do. You can do with a group of people, and find a community of people that like that. Are you into the arts, painting, sculpturing? Are you athletic or into any kind of sports, or do you want to learn? You might not even be into it, but you say, you know what? I fancy learning painting. I fancy learning how to play volleyball. I fancy swimming. I fancy tennis. And take on something new. In doing that, you make new friends, and they don't have to be people from your background. They can be people from different background, and you see it as an opportunity to learn their culture, and they in turn can also a lot of people want to learn new things, and if depending on how you put it across to them, they are happy to take on board new things. So it's that kind of opportunity for you to be more open and accepting of, this is where I am now. This is where I chose to come to now. And the system, the culture is different. And I think if you open your mind to embrace it at that moment, things get just a little bit easier and easier. What I'll just say is that what this lady is experiencing, anyone who's relocated before has experienced. And if you're about to relocate abroad, you will also experience it. So for those who are about to relocate or just relocated, I think it's about just having the mindset already that this phase is going to happen. This phase of adapting, this phase of culture shock, this phase of loneliness, of being homesick, missing your friends and family, of a different system, it's going to happen. And I think I've read or listened to it somewhere that it takes about 2 years for you to completely, overcome this phase. And once you pass through those 2 years, everything you already use, you've gone through about 8 seasons of the abroad weather, your body is used to it. You have adjusted your accent. You can talk like a Nigerian where you're with people from your background. And if you're in a place with people of different backgrounds, you can, speak, not, you won't be perfect with the accent, but you can speak in a way that you're not too conscious of your accent, or it's either you're not too conscious of your accent and you still speak with your accent and it doesn't bother you anymore, or you have adjusted your accent to the point where you're comfortable and you don't think about it at the back of your mind when you're talking. different things, nuances here and there, and you don't think about it too much anymore. So yeah, and if you have that mindset going in, then when those challenges come, you're not too phased by it. The challenges will come, and you'd be down for that for some time, but you'll be able to say to yourself that I've anticipated this to happen before, and this is one of those things, and it's a phase. I will overcome this phase. So just end by saying I wish that the lady all the best. I know this is a phase for her. She should just be strong, hold on. She will come through this better on the other side. She should also try, like people have said in the commentary, seek new people, seek communities, find something that you would like to do or you already like doing, you want to learn, find a group of people, socialize, go online. You'll find something. You'll find something. You'll find something. It's just a phase. It's just a phase. Thank you. Thank you. And if you enjoyed this video, kindly like, subscribe to my channel, and share with your friends. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.